You ever have somebody roll up to your gate, look you dead in the eye, and tell you to move your cows because your private pond is now public water? I mean, really picture that. Years of hard work, sweating under the sun, every permit in order, and some stranger just rewrites your life with a clipboard and a fake badge, while a line of cars grows behind her, all of them staring at you like you're the problem. Yeah, that happened. If you've ever been gaslit that hard, let me know in the comments because it'll spin your head right around. So Monday starts like any normal day out here. Just me, my boots, and the morning fog rolling over the ridge. I head down to check the irrigation by my cattle pond, and I see this little traffic jam at my ranch gate. 3 drivers out there arguing, all looking lost. One guy flashes his phone. App says pickups here by the creek. Another's waving his arms. This is supposed to be the supply point. At first I'm bracing for a fight, but honestly they're just confused, not angry at me. Someone sent them smack into my livestock drinking zone. Here's the lay of the land. I've got this big retention basin built years ago for 2 reasons: drinking water for 60 head of cattle and as a safety net for storm runoff, all designed and approved by the county. Nobody just wanders in here. So the sight of strangers searching for something that doesn't exist, man, the alarm bells were ringing from the get-go. And then Heather Mitchell arrives. You know, the type fresh crossover city badge on a lanyard clipboard at the ready. I'm the sustainability coordinator, she says, as if she's reading from a script. We're setting up a green pickup point here. She points at my property like she owns it completely, ignoring the big painted markers, the no trespassing signs, the fact that there's literal cattle standing behind her waiting for a drink. I try to reason with her. Explain this basin is county certified, crucial for livestock. Can't be blocked or there's real danger. She brushes it off, starts waving her clipboard like a royal decree. Community eco projects overrule private zoning, especially for transition streams. Transition streams. You ever hear someone make up a term in real time? That's what it sounded like. But it didn't stop there. She starts declaring emergency authority, says she doesn't have to show me any bylaws, just waggles that clipboard and sets up shop. And now more cars are rolling and people following app directions that Heather must have put out. Suddenly, my private ranch road's packed with traffic cars, blocking the cattle trail drivers, asking if this is the new carpool zone. Some guy in a Prius sticks his phone in my face. See, it says right here. Meanwhile, my herd's getting agitated, pacing, bellowing because they can't reach the water they've always had. And wouldn't you know it, we're expecting storms forecasts calling for heavy rain, which means every bit of drainage on my land needs to work. These systems are engineered. You block one outlet and suddenly you're risking a flash flood that could ruin not just my place but half the valley. Does Heather care? Not one bit. She sets up her coordinator headquarters, folding table, some banners, even a few potted plants like she's there for a Sunday market. She parks her car right between the basin and the cattle trail, exactly where the critical flood outlets are. I warn her, real calm, real clear about the weather, about the cattle, about the legal stuff, but she just laughs it off, says I'm trying to intimidate her. That night, my weather app starts buzzing flash flood warning for the area. I look out the window at her car, her banners, the trail blocked, and my herd restless in the dark. I can feel the disaster coming. Tuesday. The chaos escalates. Heather launches some digital campaign videos of herself in front of my pond dramatic speeches about stream justice and pond privilege, calling me out as some sort of environmental villain. The posts go viral overnight. Now I'm the cattleman hoarding public water. I'm getting DMs from people who have never set foot outside the city, telling me I have a moral duty to open my land to everyone. My neighbors see it, thank God for ranchers who get it. One uploads proof that Heather's app directions are leading folks straight onto private land. Another explains how open public access to livestock water is a recipe for contamination, fines, and disaster. The county ag officer, Dale Murphy, jumps in post my official registration. County permits, health regulations, spells it out, no public entry allowed. Livestock health regulations. Storm management zone. But Heather's not backing down. She doubles down, builds a little protest camp right on the flood outlet, folding chairs, umbrellas, cardboard signs, the works. Online, she's now a rights activist, calling for more people to show up and occupy the pond, acting like this is some civil rights showdown. You ever see someone take a bad idea and just keep pouring gas on it? Meanwhile, the weather is turning. Storm clouds stacking up winds, picking up rains in the air. I try to talk sense to the new arrivals. Most folks, when they see the permits and hear the real story, turn right around. But not Heather. She's live streaming, talking about communal resource liberation while my basin is getting blocked and the cattle can't drink. Tuesday afternoon. First drops hit, cold, steady soaking. I walk the basin, check the gauges. Heather's car is still planted right on the drainage outlet. And now the rain's coming fast. By Wednesday morning, the water's rising higher than I've seen in years, and there's nowhere for it to go. It's backing up toward my cattle pens and the neighbors' fields. I call in the fire marshal, Mark Turner. He shows up quick, sees the mess, starts documenting everything. County Emergency Management comes next. Laura Bennett, clipboard in hand, but this one knows what she's doing. She sees the rising water-blocked outlet contamination risk and authorizes emergency restoration. Restore flow by any means necessary. 30 minutes before we hit crisis levels, Heather still refuses to move her car, insists she's being targeted by agri-fascists. Meanwhile, her crossover's halfway submerged, fluids leaking into my basin engine, coughing water, the electric starting to go. I fire up my excavator, dig emergency spillways around the blockage, praying the ground holds. Then the insurance adjuster arrives. This guy's seen a lot. But even he's surprised car half underwater. Heather shouting, official documentation flying everywhere. Turns out this isn't Heather's first rodeo. She's filed similar claims at other sites, always involving disputes over public access and always ending with her car in some kind of trouble. The adjuster is snapping photos, shaking his head, making calls. This is going in the file. Excavators running, bypass channels are working, water starts dropping. But Heather, she just won't quit. Tries to drive her car out, floors the gas, and that thing dives nose first into the deepest part of the pond. It's like slow-motion comedy, engine roaring, wheels spinning mud, then silence and a bubble of oil slick rising to the top. The adjuster documents every second. This isn't about farm revenge, it's just the consequence of one stubborn person ignoring a dozen warnings. By Friday, emergency teams are still on site, fire marshal, county reps, insurance all working together. The official record is airtight. Excavator work was approved. Everything documented, vehicle loss, the result of unauthorized entry and refusal to cooperate with storm management. The car's a total loss. Half the community's seen the video online, and the county calls a special water rights hearing to settle everything. That hearing, let me tell you, it was packed. County officials, board members, even local news reporters all there to watch. The county engineer testifies my actions were textbook perfect basin, managed by the rules spillway, created just like the handbook says. Insurance adjuster presents loss is 100% on Heather, not covered by policy, past pattern confirmed. The HOA president steps up and admits it. Heather's coordinator title never gave her any real authority. No one approved her access, and her actions exposed everyone to risk. Final decision. My rights as landowner and operator are ironclad. No environmental activism or digital campaign can overrule county law and documented permits, especially during an emergency. Heather's held liable for every penny, cleanup response, legal fees, the works. Board implements mandatory training so nothing like this ever happens again. Cleanup teams arrive Sunday. Pull Heather's car out, treat the water tests for contaminants. Cattle finally get their access back. County certifies everything clean and safe. Turns out the original filtration systems worked exactly as designed, score 1 for rancher engineering. In the end, the state uses my case for training, real example of what to do when crisis hits and fake authority shows up at your gate. The HOA implements new policies, no more coordinators running wild, no more unauthorized eco projects on private land. Looking back, you realize sometimes it takes a storm and a stubborn intruder for the rules to get clear and the boundaries to hold. Me, I'll just keep protecting what's mine, prepping for the next round, because on a ranch, you never know what kind of storm's rolling in, and you better be ready when it hits. So here's my question for you. Who gets to decide what's right when public good clashes with private rights? Are you with the rule book or the crowd? Drop your thoughts down below. Hit like if you felt this, share it with someone who loves a wild twist, and subscribe for more true stories from the ranch. Stay sharp, folks.